I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
How can a man who acts like this make vice president in a week? He's obviously keeping a big secret.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is Big, rated PG. Starts Friday, June 3rd at the...
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review for Richard Rushing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who has joined me on my Patreon. I apologize for the delay. I'm trying to get the requests out as soon as I can. This is why I've been doing about 4 videos a day. But if everyone's ever interested in joining my Patreon, the link to it is down below. There's certain tiers that you get certain things. Or if you're interested in joining or sending in requests of pretty much any type of video directly, you do it via my PayPal. And the link to that will be down below in the info box as well. But the review for today is Big from 1988, starring Tom Hanks, John Heard, may he rest in peace. Directed by Penny Marshall. And this is a film that when it came out got a lot of big success, including some Academy Award nominations, I think for Screenplay and Best Actor. Could be wrong on that, but I believe that's the case. So this was a big thing, no pun intended. And this is a movie that, granted, I don't think it needed to be over 2 hours long, but I liked it. I've seen this before. It's not the first time I've seen it. It's still a fun, sweet movie with some really good performances, especially by Tom Hanks, that really captures sort of a kid spirit and an adult body. I know there was a couple films before this, but I think from the success of this, you definitely got a lot more, like vice versa, like father, like son, sort of things of that nature. I don't know, maybe some of them came out before this, but I don't know. I definitely guarantee a lot more came out because of the success of this. But the gist of the story, Tom Hanks, well, his character as a kid, going the normal life, playing this text-based adventure game, which was cool because I'm a sucker for text-based games because they're an interesting way of playing it. And he's going through what kids are going through. He has his buddy. Parents want him to take out the garbage. He's at a carnival. People tell him he needs to be this big to ride it. He's too small. And then during this carnival, he sees this fortune teller machine. And he makes a simple wish. I wish I was big. Of course, in a different movie, it'd be a different big. But in this, he wakes up and he's an adult. He's Tom Hanks. And of course his mom freaks out because he thinks it's a stranger. The friend doesn't believe him, but then they do a rap and finally does believe him. He has to figure out what to do next because now the carnival, the festival is gone, and where's that fortune machine, telling machine? We gotta go find it. Oh, it may take a month. What's he gonna do? Gets a flop house, finds a job, working for data for this toy company. And this is where you get people like John Heard, who's the pitch leader of these toys, and things are not going well with sales. Robert Loggia, who I remember from Independence Day, and he's been in a lot of stuff. He's the boss, but he's not an asshole. He's not stereotypical, oh, he's the boss, so he's the villain, he's the guy not to trust. They don't do that, which I appreciate. He's actually a pretty decent guy. There's a moment where Tom Hanks accidentally bumps into him, and he's like, hey, it's okay. Hey, you're Russian for it, so I'm glad for it. That type of thing. Actually, I think I saw the extended edition. That's why it was over 2 hours. So you're wondering, what the fuck? Accidentally, I saw the extended version. No wonder. I'm sure at the beginning, what the fuck do you mean it's over 2 hours? It's only an hour and 40 something. Well, looking on Wikipedia, there is a 130-minute extended edition, and that's the one I saw. So as you can tell, I did not grow up watching this film. This may be the second or third time I've watched it. So I don't know all the scenes that was extended and so forth. So there you go. That shows how smart I am. So I watched the extended version. But it was still a damn good movie. Elizabeth Perkins is this lady that works at the company. She falls in love with Tom Hanks' character. They have a sweet little romance going on because he doesn't quite get it, because he's still that kid mentality of you just want to be friends. Granted, would she still be considered a pedophile because it's a kid, but at the same time it's in an adult body? I wonder if this movie got remade today, if they were trying to go into that type of conversation. Not saying they should. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Elizabeth Perkins, she was in the 94 Flintstones movie About Life from 1986, which I have not seen. Mercedes Ruehl, who I remember from The Fisher King, I believe. She plays the mom, Tom Hanks' mom, who of course misses her kid. And, Tom Hanks can't really do much because she won't believe who he is. John Lovitz is a guy who works at the toy company. He's in it for a teeny bit, but the little bits he's in there, he's not too bad. Yeah, Academy Award nominations for Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay. I mean, I don't know if the screenplay deserved an Oscar nomination. I mean, it's not a bad screenplay, but I don't know if it's an Oscar nominating worthy screenplay, but okay. Okay, Life Follow Life Son came out in 1987, 18 again 1988, Vice Versa 1988, 14 going on 30 1988. So a lot of movies around this time that had almost the same type of idea, strangely enough. But this was definitely the most successful. A big part of that is Tom Hanks and his performance. It's a really good one. Whether it be his physical nature, like playing with ice cream in his mouth, or his mannerisms, like he's trying to pay with dinner and just moving the money as if he's hasn't done this too often. There's definitely moments that have a certain memorable presence to them, meaning even if you've never seen the movie, you've probably seen the scene where him and Robert Loggia are on that giant foot-operated electronic keyboard, which is a cool type of toy. I don't know if they have that type of toy nowadays, but it seemed pretty cool. I do see why they use it for a sequence, because it's definitely visually interesting and not typical. And it was a nice way to showcase a little bond between Tom Hanks and Robert Loggia's character. And I thought Tom Hanks worked well with the kid who played his buddy. They're pretend to be they have this silly string. They pretend it's snot and puke and using the silly string on each other, hang out with each other. They worked well together. And yeah, Tom Hanks, he really did capture the mannerisms of a kid, because that could be done in a very hokey or laughable in the wrong way. But Tom Hanks, maybe just Tom Hanks himself, in a weird way, has that sort of innocence that works well with the type of character he's supposed to be playing. And that innocence where his first day on the job, John Levis goes, oh, that lady? Hey, you talk to her, she'll wrap your legs around you and never let go. And so Tom Hanks goes, well, I'll stay away from her then. So I do think it's a good script. I don't know if it's Oscar-worthy script, but it was a good script, lines like that. And then Tom Hanks, his character's doing well at the business because of stuff that are simple, straightforward things to say. They're looking at toys, and he's going, wait a minute, you have a robot that turns to a building? And John Hurd goes, yeah. And then Tom Hanks goes, well, what's fun about that? Like, why don't you have a toy that... a robot that turns to a bug? And people are really liking that, and that's pissing off. And again, captures more of that innocence where Elizabeth Perkins is trying to... She's falling in love with Tom Hanks' character. I want to spend the night with you. And Tom Hanks goes, you mean sleepover? Okay, but I get to be on top. But of course, it's a different top than what she's meaning. So I can't complain about the pacing of the film because stupid me saw the over 2-hour version without realizing it. I saw the extended version without realizing it, so that's my fault. But sorry. I did not know there were 2 versions of this movie. With Tom Hanks, I grew up more with The Burbs, which is my favorite, or Forrest Gump, or I like The Money Pit, Castaway. Like, those are the films I grew up more with Tom Hanks. So I didn't watch this much growing up. I probably first saw it maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe. But even then, it had a good heart on its shoulder. The performances worked well. There was certain sweetness. There were some moments that made me laugh. I mean, Penny Marshall, she directed one of my favorite 80s comedies, Jumping Jack Flash, with Whoopi Goldberg. I love that movie. And she did a nice job here. I forget what she directed after this. Let me look it up real quick. But one idea I thought was interesting that he comes up with the character is an electronic comic book. Which I don't know if that ever, in real life, I don't know if that ever became, like someone actually ever did that idea. But I don't know, the way he was describing it seemed like an interesting idea to do an electronic version of a comic. Okay. She did Penny Marshall, Jumpin' Jack Flash, which I love. Awakenings, that's a good dramatic movie with Robin Williams, Robert De Niro. A League of Their Own, so reteam with Tom Hanks. I remember not minding A League of Their Own. Renaissance Man, I remember not minding that film, which has Mark Wahlberg in it, stars Danny DeVito. Preacher's Wife, never saw. Riding in Cars with Boys, never saw. Yeah, sadly, Penny Marshall passed away in 2018. That's too bad. She passed away from... I don't even know how to describe this. Cardiopulmonary failure, atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, and diabetes mellitus type 1. Jesus. Yeah, that's too bad. 75 years old. Rest in peace, Penny Marshall. But yeah, this is a fun movie that's got a good heart to it. I can't complain about the pacing because I stupidly saw the extended version. So do I have any other issues with it? Not really that I can think of. I guess just a question when you get to the end where he has the choice. Either, hey, go back and relive, not relive, but go back to being a kid and it's have fun being a kid, or stay here. And I'm going, well, you're being very successful and the best job anyone could have. You're making a lot of money. You have a woman that loves you. Granted, you're a kid, but still. What would you choose? Would you choose to go back to being a kid, or would you stay? I honestly might. If I was in Tom Hanks' shoes, maybe that's why I wouldn't say the ending bothered me. It just, I would have been the guy that would have stayed as an adult. But I mean, to be fair, his mom was sad. But they don't really go in the ending where he's trying to think of his decision. That's not one of the high points of contention, it seems. It's just he's watching kids play in the leaves or, play ball. And it seems like that's more of why he wants to be a kid again, so he could go play, not because his mom is sad. So that'd be the only reason I would go back. Otherwise, I'd be like, fuck it. You're making a shitload of money. You have all these toys, all this expensive shit. A girl that wants to fuck your brains out. Even as a kid, I'd be like, I'm staying. But this don't sound random, but it's kind of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What would you choose? Would you choose to stay on Earth, or would you choose to leave? I actually choose to leave. So I was with Richard Dreyfuss. I'd be like, I'm going to leave and see what happens next. So that'd be a question to ask for anyone who does see this. Because it seems like if I like a film, not many people watch the video. But hey, at least someone does, so I'm not going to complain. But anyone who does see the video, let me know, what would you do? Would you stay, or will you stay as an adult in the situation Tom Hanks was in, where he's getting pretty rich and cushy job and this lady, or would you go back to being a kid? Yeah, that'd be a interesting question to ask people. But overall, fun, sweet little movie with some funny moments. The marketing, the poster is a bit weird because it's just Tom Hanks' face. So I'm kind of surprised it made that much money based on that marketing of just the posters, just Tom Hanks going, up close. Yeah. Good movie, good comedy. Either way, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you once again, Richard Rushing, for the request. If anyone ever wants to join me on my Patreon, where you can have requests to shoot out, feel free. Or if you want to do it directly via PayPal, feel free as well. The links are down below. Thank you, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.